Yeah, turn that ring light back on. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? And you know what time it is? You're now locked back into the wedding edition.
Round of
And
applause, round of applause.
round of applause. And you know what that voice is over there? That's the none, the other, the awesome, awesome nobody. Say what's up, everyone.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening.
So, for all of you guys, the new people out there, welcome. We don't know how you got here, but we are thankful that you are. Make sure you follow me on all my social media. That's at Little Miss ENT, LILMISSENT. Awesome. Where can they find you at?
Find me every place you can find Little Miss Entertainment at, and adding on to that, at awesome_nobody on Instagram, at awesome NOBDY on Twitter.
Absolutely. The YouTube channel is the Little Miss ENT Show. We're going to have a lot of exclusive content. We are winding this thing down. It's getting very close to when we're supposed to have our wedding. So we don't know if we're going to be able to have the date that it was scheduled to, but keep
That's right, because of the pandemic.
Yeah, from the pandemic. There's a lot of postponements, a lot of cancellations. Keep us in your prayers. We have all of you guys out there in our prayers. But I thought that to bring some joy, some light, some just good vibes to the era of what's going on in the world today. We're going to do the 10 things we love about each other.
That's right.
I think we've done something similar to this before. And I think this might be a good episode to bring each other, if we want to the couples court, to the front of, what is it called?
Well, we can't mix the love and hate.
It's not love and
Even
hate.
though there's a thin line. Even there's a thin line.
How do you know it was going to be
between
hate?
love? Because we're just talking about love. Let the love be the love.
All right, we won't
Let
do
the
couples
love-
court, but we
let
know
the
that
love be the
we know
love.
you guys love
Oh,
the
yeah,
couples
yeah,
court
yeah,
segment.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
will definitely do that. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Ladies first.
Okay. So for all of the new listeners out there, this is the wedding edition. It's a spinoff of my podcast, The Little Miss Entertainment Show, that I do with my fiance. And it is a documentation of planning our wedding from a Black millennial couple's perspective. And we started to do this podcast because we thought it was highly underrepresented that millennial Black couples are telling the ways, the tips, the tricks, what happens actually when you are preparing for marriage and you're
Yes.
planning a wedding.
Yes.
So Awesome's doing a good job from holding it down from the fella's perspective and giving
Trying to.
good, honest feedback about that.
Yes.
And he has his fancy shirt on today.
Oh yeah, it's coming out. We're trying to add more videos, and we're trying to make exclusive content for Patreon.
Correct.
So a lot of our podcasts now you can listen on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, of course, and then you can also watch us on Patreon.
Yes, absolutely. So the first thing that I love about Awesome is one thing after we started chatting. If you guys don't know, go back to how we met. There's an episode somewhere. I'll link it below, how we met. But the one thing that I really love about you is the father that you are. There's a lot of things to be said about a man and how he treats his children, but there's something extremely special about the way that a man treats his daughter. Awesome loves his daughter to infinity and beyond. He is definitely a Buzz Lightyear when it comes to that. There is nothing that he will not do for her. It's nothing that he will not do his best to teach her. It's nothing that he won't do to encourage anything that she finds joy in. You know, um, it's not easy co-parenting, obviously, and then co-parenting state to state. And I think from the beginning of our relationship, just to see your dedication to going back and forth, picking her up. Now that we've moved a little further, we have more of a holiday visitation schedule and keep her in the summer. You went from just doing every other weekend to this summer, honestly, having her full time for months at a time. You used to keep her for the summers, but it would be a break in
Been 2 weeks
between.
and then 2 weeks.
Yeah. So this summer you kept her straight through from getting out of school all the way to going back to school.
Yeah.
And just getting on a schedule, getting up for camp, making lunch, doing hair, like all of those different things. Awesome got really cool with the African braiders. I took Sienna a couple times, and then you took her a couple times, and they just got to know her and they liked her over there. And those are things that men, let alone dads, aren't necessarily, they don't know how to go to the braiding place and what to ask for. And
Not at all, man. It's all a learning curve, man.
It is definitely a learning curve. And that is definitely probably the top reason that I knew that you would be the one for me. And once I saw you with Sienna and how you treated her and how much you loved your daughter and not being in the best circumstances to be able to father and just persevering through all of the challenges, I knew that you would be not just the upstanding man, the man that I was meant to be with. So that's my top. I'm going as 10, 9, 8.
10. Okay.
That's 10.
Okay. Glad you let me know sort of how we're going to go down with it. But no, that's very nice. Yeah, it's not easy. Dads, a lot of black dads get a lot of bad raps nowadays. You know what I'm saying? People like to make jokes about that stuff. But, I'm glad that you realize that and appreciate that, because nobody else has, per se. So I appreciate it.
And I think that's a great thing to say. We need to support our black men. We need to support fathers in general that are out here doing their best against the circumstances that might not be ideal to be fathers to their children.
Yeah. So we're doing, we're starting from the bottom. We're doing 10 down to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was kind of joking at my 10 when I thought you was going to go start with number 1.
No. Okay.
Okay.
You can joke.
All right. Little Miss Entertainment with booty. That's my thing. That's what she doesn't like
love.
when I joke, but booty. She definitely has nice booty. So, like I said, it was a joke. It was the least one. You know what I'm saying? But
okay.
It was, so that was it. That was the joke one.
You think I have a nice butt?
You have a very nice butt.
What kind of butt do I have? Do I have like an onion booty, or do I have like a teardrop butt? There's a lot of different booties in the world.
A lot of different booties. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna put it in a way that the crowd can get it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because
the outsiders.
Yeah, so you have to put it into context of like a celebrity. So you have Nicki Minaj butt, right? Then you have Cardi B butt. Then you got like a Brittany Renner butt. And then you got like a Meg Thee Stallion butt. I'm trying to think who else had a really nice
Drea
butt.
has a nice butt.
Yeah, Drea has nice butt. So I would say I put you in like a Brittany Renner, Drea, almost Meg Thee Stallion type of butt category.
Okay.
Because those are natural. Those are all natural.
Yeah.
I think there's the height is difference between some of those girls.
But not like the
fake side, not like the
like I've gotten my butt done
or the Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
Butt area, but
I'll take that. Yeah. I'll take that. It's funny that you make mention of that, because I think that what do you think it is about guys and these girls with their bodies that are done?
Well, I think it started. I'm trying to think when the first time I went somewhere.
Because you'd be like, oh my God, that girl's body is so bad in a bad way. Like, oh my God, she got all this surgery. It looks terrible.
Yeah, it does. But I'm trying to think the first time I went out and seen like a real fake butt in person, it had to be like, I want to say, what year was the first year Obama got elected? Was it?
07? 07.
I don't think it was that long ago,
Was it
but
'08? It's every
I'll say
4
I'll
years.
say
I think '08.
I'll put
Yeah.
it like this. I'll say between '08 and '09. I
Mhm.
think it was '09 maybe, right?
Mhm.
Maybe a little bit after then. But I remember going out and being like, wow, like blown away, like wow. This girl had a fake butt and it was like, being way beyond anything. It was still genuine at that time.
Mhm.
Then it became dollar store, right?
I've seen some pretty bad butt jobs.
Yeah,
Like really
it
bad.
just became, when I say dollar store, meaning is there's too many of them,
They
it's
were
not the
getting done
same quality.
cheaply.
It's not the same quality,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
It's just too many of them. Yeah, it's huge. Some girls, like I said, it's a good accent on them, but it's just it went from literally one person to now there might be 40 girls in the club with the fake butts. And it's
Mhm.
just like, come on now. It's like everybody got Jordans. It's kind of like it's not an exclusive thing anymore.
Yeah.
So it loses its
I
stamina.
think that's a good way of putting it. Like
Yeah,
it's not
it's
exclusive.
not
Like
exclusive
everybody
anymore.
gets their body done.
Yeah, and it's not exclusive. And I think that there was a a a, a a need for real, like Kendrick
Mhm.
Lamar kind of put it like, no stretch marks. Wanted the normal. No, he
When
said he
he
wanted the girl
sees some
with stretch
stretch
marks. That's what I
marks,
meant to
he
say.
wanted to
He
know it
wanted
was
a
real.
normal girl, yeah, a real girl.
Mhm.
So I think there was a push. Now I think there was a more of a push for natural beauty, natural type of body, just that uplifting. I mean, honestly, no real person should want anybody to put their health in jeopardy,
Mhm.
for superficial reasons.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that on you. I'm sure you wouldn't want that on me. So my value on that stuff is low. Of course, it might be cool to look at, what I'm saying, in a video where that's their image.
Yeah.
But if I'm working with, what I'm saying, somebody and she got a 50-inch butt and she's, with a 10-inch waist, I'm like, it don't match up. You're not in a
Some
video.
guys like that though. They
I
like it.
understand. You're right. I mean, it's cool at home, but like you gotta like work with somebody like that.
I definitely like the Dreas of the world. I think Drea has a really nice body.
Well, she was not to cut you off. She was on live the other day. All I saw was she started trending because I'll be on the Twitter.
She had the blue panties and bra
She was
on.
doing something. I didn't get a chance to
Mhm.
see it live, but all I saw was in the little box. It was like Drea trending.
Drea trends.
Yeah.
She knows how to thirst trap real good.
Mm-hmm.
No, but that is such a good segue into my number 9. I think Awesome has such a good sense of humor. Sometimes I think his sense of humor
Oh man,
is
you joking with me now?
no, I'm not
She's
joking with
joking with me
you.
right now,
I do
y'all.
think you have a good sense of
She is
humor.
joking with me right now.
You send me very funny things throughout the day. You make some good jokes. He makes some bad jokes. I think sometimes
Jesus,
I
man.
think sometimes he doesn't know like where the cutoff is for the jokes.
You're right. I understand. It is a fine line with that stuff, but I think, like they say, the same thing that makes you great is the same thing that makes you
Yeah.
so.
I do think that I know you've said this quite a bit. You should try a stand-up comedy night. You like an amateur night. I think you would do well at that.
Yeah, I could probably find if I found out the format, I could probably do it.
I think if you just figured out your punchlines and your delivery, you would really like sometimes like you'd be like, and banana. And it like your punchline, I'd be like, I get the joke, darling, but you got to put it like all together.
Yeah, you got to set up punchline.
You got to set the punchline up for the knockdown. But no, you have a good sense of humor. We have similar sense of humors to an extent. Awesome. Can I tell them about your old trolling days?
Well, I mean, everybody used to troll.
Awesome used to troll.
We're here for the love, man. We're here for the
Okay.
love.
All right. No, he has a good sense of humor. It was until I realized at some point that his sense of humor was a little different. But no, he has a really great sense of humor. I do think that you would be good. There's some really funny videos. You know who I think you would be a good collaboration? When you and Mike get together, I feel like those are the funniest videos that I have like in my phone. Like you guys captured, like you guys have funny banter. So yeah, I think you have a really great sense of humor.
I appreciate that.
You're next.
Okay, next. So number 9 on the list. Number 9. For things I like about Little Miss Entertainment, I put intelligence.
That was nice.
Like I said, we're starting from 10 and working our way down. I think intelligence is important, in a lot of ways, and I think that when it comes to just having a high IQ, you definitely are peak, as far as understanding things, being able to see things ahead of time. I think the court vision is very difficult for a lot of people. I
Mhm.
see you have that. You work very well under pressure, and you're smart about your decisions. You think about things, and you are just great at conversating and talking. Like I said, we when we first met, I sat there and talked to you and
Mhm.
wanted to talk to you. I guess because I think that's important. I feel like so many people when they first meet someone, they get into these short-winded conversations like, yo, like, yo, you sexy as fuck. What I'm saying, things I would do to you. You know what I mean? Let's take this offline. Let's take this conversation offline. And yeah, that's cool for a week or two or a couple weeks or maybe 6 months. But like, what I'm saying? I was telling we were talking the other day, like some of these people would be in these relationships don't like each other.
We've been seeing a lot of
They don't
people
sit
that
there and
we know
talk.
are about to kill each
They don't
other
sit
under
there. Yeah, they don't
quarantine.
sit there and say nothing. They don't be talking at all. It'd be like, yo, they don't want to do the same thing. They don't even want to offer to do the same things with their significant other.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I'm saying? So
true.
you got to be able to talk. And what I'm saying with that is some of these girls, no disrespect, the girls' intelligence for different topics is not there.
Yeah.
So a guy, in real life, he might be an engineer. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But if all the girl talking about is Fenty and what I'm saying, or does this look big in these pants? Like the conversations are shallow. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I say
Mhm.
like everybody wants a model until you got to spend 365 days with me. Like I can't take this no more.
That's true.
I
That's
can't take
true.
this no more. There's not one interesting thing about her, like, what I'm saying, other than her looks. So it's really, really important to have someone that you can be around with all day.
I appreciate that. I think it's a double-edged sword because I think I overthink a lot of things. I think I'm always thinking. But I do appreciate you saying my intelligence. I think a lot of times, and me personally in this journey, even up until the time I met you, I felt so down and out about being smart, being a smart girl, being ambitious, right? Like being that type of person. And I felt like all the girls that were getting plastic surgery and were just twerking on Instagram, not that they weren't intelligent, but I feel like a good majority of them had to turn to that because that was their ends to a mean, that guys were never going to like a smart female anymore. I definitely felt in that place in my life. I was like, nobody's ever going to want somebody that can hold a conversation from anything to world politics
Yeah.
to hip hop music. They just weren't looking for that. Well, that's what I felt
Mhm.
like. I felt like
Well, we were talking about the same thing, that it depends on where you look at. So many times people look for everything they want in their hometown,
that's
or one
mhm.
area or this
Yes.
small particular part of the country.
Mhm.
You're not going to find everything there. If you're a bigger personality, you have to go on a bigger hunt.
Yes.
You have to go out there until you find a person that you feel compatible with.
I agree.
It's not going to happen in a small area. You got to increase the sample size. I mean, you got to get out there. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. And you got to look,
Mhm.
got to look.
Um This next one is definitely, I think it's something that I feel like you don't get enough recognition for because you aren't necessarily, I feel like you're not the most boastful person, but you have such a kind heart. You really will do any and everything for anybody and maybe not always get that in return, but you will, if somebody needs a ride, somebody needs their house moved, somebody needs just a shoulder to cry on or whatever. I think you have a really big kind heart and you have displayed that to me many, many, many times. There's been times that I didn't have many options or anything, and you always were right there with kind words to help me through whatever that situation is. I think that you in your past, a lot of times, a lot of people know you for being not this tough guy, but being tough, but I don't think they recognize all of the good that you have done for the people that you know. So
Yeah, well, I mean, even to that point, that's a good point because all the situations I was in to my past was all to help somebody else. Like
yes.
we had to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we are, the whole culture that we had growing up was a, pretty much like a jumping culture, right? So if you
Mm-hmm.
with someone, you're not gonna let them get jumped.
Yeah.
So all the times that we had to go into stuff, we had to fight, it was all because other people trying to jump us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when, and then stories come out of that. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
Awesome is
seriously,
legend in his
yeah,
his
seriously,
town.
man, because they was trying to kill us.
I don't meet one person from Awesome's town that don't be like, yo, he was a killer. And
Well,
like
no, not that I was a
not
killer,
literally,
but
but like just would
we was
not
out
back
there with the
down.
killers.
Yes.
Think about this, right? You're talking about growing up in the area, Asbury
With
Park,
the hoolies.
with the number one. If you look at the chart, it fluctuates, but at any given time, it could be the number one crime place in the state of New Jersey, more than Newark, more than Camden.
Yep.
It was serious, and it's only a square mile, and so there's people out there that was literally, you know, fighting all day. You basically talking about the Wild Wild West, and they was trying to kill us. Like a lot of these people, I'm serious, like you know, convicted murderers, convicted felons. You know what I'm saying? Like just anything you could think of, they was doing it down there, and we was mixed in with all these people.
Yeah.
And like it was a lot of stuff that went on, and we just had to adapt. So you talking about we was fully adapted to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's what it was. It was all in self defense, and it was all in support of other people. So if I'm with somebody and something happened, you know, then of course, you know, I'll be there. But not all situations end up, you know, well. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. To your answer, me being very helpful and willing to help people goes back to then because a lot of times, a lot of situations, people just walked away from. You know what I'm saying? Let
Yeah.
people get hurt. But I seen the need that people need in their time of need, and that's when you
Yeah.
have to be there. So, but the only
You
way
are
to be
like
there,
that.
the only way to be there is to be involved. You know, so you know, even with my daughter, like you said, like I know she needs me. I know she don't need me every day, or thinks she doesn't need me every day. But then that time of day when she does, I'm
You're
right
there.
there. Same thing with you. You go about your day, work back and forth home, but then you get a flat tire, I'm right there. Get a flat tire,
I call
feet
Awesome.
busted, it needs somebody, I'm right there.
I call Awesome. I had a flat tire. He's like, he first of all, he hated this one gas station. So then I was scared to tell him where I was at. I was like, I'm at that one gas station. He's like, why are you over there? Then I was pulled into the mud. He's like, why are you in the
So the jack kept sinking as I'm trying to. The jack just going into the dirt.
But
I'm
he
like,
came to save me. He did.
I'm like, yeah. So you gotta. So you're right. You gotta be there for people. You know what I'm saying? But that's the same thing. Like it works both ways. You know, people take your kindness for your weakness.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? So the more you're right, the bigger my heart is, and the more that I have good intentions to help people or want to talk to people about them helping themselves. People look at you like you're a straight sucker. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. I do have to battle with having a kind heart and having kindness for everybody instead of just a few people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you're right. I definitely don't get any applaud for that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, I don't think, has ever said to me, I realize what you've done. You know what I'm saying? I think that was great.
I realized what you done, darling.
That's why I say awesome nobody, because I do all this stuff and nobody cares.
Everybody cares.
Does awesome stuff and nobody cares. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're next.
Okay. So number 8, the family aspect. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely down for the family, the family. You know, and that's great to see because you know, I grew up kind of opposite, like a smaller family. But you know, you and your family, you guys are remind me a lot of mine. But you guys are really, really tight, and I think that's great. You need a good family background because if you don't, you know, people go unchecked, you know, because they just moving around doing whatever they think they want to do, not realizing like, yeah, you're making your grandmother look bad. You're making your mom
That's
look bad.
true.
You're making your
That's
sister
true.
look bad. You know what I'm saying? Because these people came before you, put their name on the line for you today, and you out here doing this. Like
That's
you don't
true.
do things for yourself. After a certain age, you get your life back. You get what I'm saying? But then
The
before that
generation
time,
starts
yeah,
again.
before that time, you moving on their name. You know what I'm saying? You moving on their everything, accomplishments, everything. So you have a duty to basically uphold their legacy. You know what I'm saying? And once I realized that, that's when I started working harder. I realized that, I was only, Audrey's grandson. I was only, Susan's son, right? I wasn't my own
Mm,
identity. And once I realized that, like, yo, I need to uphold them in the name of Susan's son. So,
yeah.
worked hard to make something so they could be like, no, that's Evan now, because he grew up, he accomplished everything he had to do to get his name. And
Mm-hmm.
and then that's what I did. And
Wow,
so,
that's impactful, darling.
yeah, it's
When you
big.
like grow into your adulthood, like I'm no longer that person. You'll always be their son, but like you're not referred to
Hmm.
as you're
Hmm.
your own man.
Yeah, you got to become that. And so a lot of
Yeah.
people don't become that. They play around and they don't respect their family, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't, try to even connect bonds or even try to grow with their family. So
Yeah.
that is really important. And
Mm-hmm.
I see that, you basically work with your family every day, and
Mm-hmm.
you do things for your family every day, and you always think of your family every day. And I think that's a quality that people don't have.
I am very family oriented for all of you out there that don't know. I miss my family a lot. We lived so close to one another for 30 plus years. And all in like 1 year we all moved away from each other, and so it's been difficult. But with the technology and stuff today, I really really try to make sure that we all stay together, and at least 3 or 4 times a year get together as a family, because it's important. You only
It
get
is.
one family.
Yeah, that's true.
It bothers me when I see people are like, F my mom, F my dad, F my brother and sister. And not on some like my parents were abusive, my dad was an alcoholic, just on some regular, like, I just don't like my brother's personality. Okay,
Hmm.
you really can't do much about that, but respect the fact that you have been blessed upon being able to have a family, right? Because
Hmm.
some people are out here very much just
They would
on
give
their own.
everything for 1 minute.
They would give everything for 1 minute, right, with whomever it is. I think my perspective on family changed a lot when my father died.
Hmm.
When you are young and you experience not being able to have control over something like that, like not having your family member there, it puts it in perspective to say, well, you better hold on to these times. You better hold on to these moments with these people that you do have around, because they are not promised. But everybody doesn't go through something like that to be able to put it back in perspective. But if I could say anything, going through this pandemic, make sure in this time that you're spending with yourselves that you heal upon some of that and you mend some of those relationships. You have nothing but time in the house. Pick the phone up, mend a relationship
Yeah, yeah.
that you haven't kind of wanting to go to. You left it on bad note or
Hmm.
whatever it may be. This might be the time for you to be able to do that, because um family is precious, and I
Hmm.
can't say enough good things about family. So I
Yep.
appreciate that you said that.
Yeah, somebody said the same way. Somebody was like, "Man, I got to have my phone in my hand pretty much all day through this, pandemic, and
Mhm.
they didn't use it as much as I should have." It's like, man, I should have made way more calls to people, that
For
you haven't talked
sure.
to.
For
I've been
sure.
trying to do that more. I made one call the other day to
I've heard you
somebody.
more on the phone in the
Hmm.
last week than I've ever heard you
Hmm.
on the
Yeah, I
phone.
mean, I think it's a good idea. I was kind of already doing that, but just now, just saying it, like, yeah,
Yeah.
call people,
Yeah, for sure.
call
Yeah.
people.
And check on people,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
This one's a big one for me. Um we are a regular couple like everybody else out there. I know you guys are always like, "Oh my god, awesome, so great." And I might not be the best to him sometimes, but awesome is my biggest motivator. I know one thing, when he first started talking to me, he's like, "Oh my god, I've never seen somebody so supportive." And I do that because I feel like in life, in general, I have to shout out to my mom. My mom has always been a big motivator in my life. But as you grow into an adult and your parents have done their job in your adulthood, who's your motivator, right? And it is a I would say it's a duty of a husband, right? A significant other. Awesome does not take his foot off my neck when it comes to anything. If I want to do it, if I mention it, he is like, "What's the plan? XYZ. Make sure that you get this done. What did you do today? Don't sit in the bed all day. Like, he is just very motivating, right? Um, and I need that. I need that. We both were good separately. We're outstanding together. And I speak of that a lot on the podcast and this journey of us getting married and, all of this, because the fact of the matter is that you aren't that person until you meet that person that can kind of excel you
Bring
and
that out,
upgrade you
yeah.
and bring that out in you.
Mhm.
And you bring that out in me when I'm feeling like I can't do this anymore. You are right there to just kind of give me the push on the back to say you can do any of this. And sometimes it's at a sacrifice of what you want out of life, because you see that will make me happy. And that doesn't go unnoticed. I know that you always are there and very supportive of me.
Well, I'm glad you recognize that, because that's big,
Mm-hmm.
because that goes into pretty much what you're saying before, like, being there at the right times is hard. You can't call it. So you gotta be there for all the times. You have to be ready to put your thing secondary to put their things first.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a big thing. So I appreciate that you recognize that. That's
Mm-hmm.
huge. Very
Thank you.
huge. Stop looking at my list.
No, you keep forgetting your list.
No, I'm not. But I see your eyes. You're over here trying
I'm
to read
not
my
looking at
list.
your
You're supposed to
list.
be surprised. See, this is why you can't surprise females, because they're too
Not.
slick.
I'm not look. I didn't. I can't even see. I don't have my glasses on. First of all,
You can see.
I can't see
I'm gonna
that.
start putting it over here.
Put it over. I really can't see that far.
So my next one, going down the list, starting at 10, going down, was acceptance. Right, that was a big one. Because it's tough out here. I mean, in general, whether you're dating, single, you're with somebody, you're not with somebody, it's tough because everybody's got these superficial standards, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you ask somebody, listen to what is the song right now? My type, what is it? What is that song by the girl?
Sweetie.
That's my type. That's my type. And if you
Mm-hmm.
listen to the lyrics of the song, I mean, all she want is, was it six? What does it say? Six figure, six. Oh, I thought it was gonna say 6 foot, but six
figure.
figure, 6 foot. All this other stuff that's not even really realistic.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's a small percentage of the population, so you're gonna see more people that don't have that, but they're telling that to the masses, so more people gonna think that's what all the guys look like, and then they go out and then they don't find those guys and they don't even want to give a chance. Like, I'm not really height conscious, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not tall. You know what I'm saying? So but it doesn't bother me. It's me, but it bothers a lot of females. You know what I'm saying? So there was tough acceptance as far as females and dating a guy that's shorter than them. So you got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I know a lot of times people be like, yo, I just go to the club, pull up, you know what I'm saying, bagging all the chicks. Like, you approach a female as a shorter guy, she will be upset. It's not like she'll be nice and be like, oh, how you doing? Oh, and talk to you for a while. She's like, ew, you short as hell, get the hell out of here. And be like, you crazy?
Yeah.
You crazy, like, talking to me like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that has happened, and for no reason, just, you know what I'm saying? But and the crazy part is, it's not even like they was tall. You get what I'm saying? But so acceptance is big, because Little Miss Entertainment is taller than me, and so just for her to accept that, good things come in different sizes, and then that, people's characters make up for other areas that they don't. And like I
Absolutely.
said, realizing the things that I had in me that made me special, instead of superficially judging me because, I'm not, 6'6",
Yeah.
with that 6'6" guy.
It's
But oh, go ahead.
no, it's so many people ask me this.
Yeah, because
So
it is a
many
big
people
question. It's
ask
a
me
big
this.
question.
It's never, I'm not gonna lie. I asked you how tall you were because I am
But
tall.
we was on the text.
Yes, we were on the text.
We hadn't met yet.
We hadn't met yet. And so I am tall. So of course I think it's just programmed in your mind. You kind of want somebody your height. But even when you told me how tall you were, I liked you so much that I was like, it's not a big deal. Like, and even after that, once I met you and I started liking you and I fell in love with you, I never even looked at it anymore. Like it just is me and you, or just me and you. But
yeah.
Where were we at? Oh, the Dr. Michael Eric Dyson book event. And the girls were talking to us across, and they were like, my friend is dating this guy that's shorter, and she was asking me, how do you feel about it? At a point, honestly, it's not even a thing. It's such a superficial thing. It's just like, would you care if somebody had big feet? At a
This is the thing,
point,
though. Some people do.
But at a point, you're not looking at that person's feet every day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like it would be like if I'm trying to think of something else. Like that you every day you're like, after a while, it's like second nature to you, right? Like it just, like if you grow a mole, you're like, all right, I grew a mole. Like you don't. It's not a big deal. But no, a lot of females ask me about this, and I tell everybody, your physical attraction is definitely important. I am physically attracted to Awesome. Awesome is very handsome to me. I think Awesome has a lot of swag and sex appeal. He's just that guy. I feel like more so than a lot of some guys are tall and doofy, and Awesome is on the shorter side and swaggy. So like, would you want the cornball, or you want the guy with the swag? To me, I'm always going to take the guy with the swag, right?
That's a good point, because sometimes they never put those two together.
Oh my God, there's a lot of tall doofs out there. Trust me,
usually never put that together.
There's a lot of cornballs that are tall out there. Put that.
But no. So the acceptance part is definitely big, like I said, because a lot of people are superficial and don't realize how superficial they are with everything. But you get it's almost like, you get what I want to put it a certain way, like you get what you negotiate almost, right? So if you have a problem with that, you might put together a guy, nice short guy, who's about family and about his work, who's growing, to go with. I think somebody put like a 6 foot, douchebag who's constantly cheating on you, but only thing he got going for him is that he's 6 feet. And somebody said, was the 6 feet worth the headache?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna come. But and it works in both ways. I mean, everybody can get on anybody's nerves at any time. But
yeah.
But that is a big one for me. And I think that I definitely realize that, and that's why I put on my list.
I appreciate that. I will always accept you. I would not know what to do without you. This rolls right into. I love Awesome's sense of style. Awesome is a coordinated somebody, man.
You always say that.
You look at you today. Look at all of you two people. Look at how coordinated Awesome is. Awesome has a really good sense of style. Some people just got it, and other people don't. Let's go back to the deuce. Like, some guys be thinking they out here really killing the dress game, and they really are not killing the dress game. I really feel like you really know how to dress. I think you can put different patterns, colors, brands, everything together, and you really make a lot of nice outfits. I think your uniform, for a while, Awesome had the male thought uniform. He was wearing the
Nike Techs.
Well, that's the winter time. He was wearing the camo shorts and the white tee.
Guys definitely want to have comfortable go-to stuff. Because it's hard. It is kind of hard to go so many places and fit in. So you kind of almost have to have a uniform. You're right.
Yeah.
So it is the camo shorts in the summer, and it is the Nike Techs in the winter. But it is hard. I don't necessarily think I'm that well coordinated. You know what I'm saying? But you have said that to me, and then I've heard other people say that to me, and I'm like, I didn't really see it. I'm just like, yo, y'all don't understand. Like, I just kind of put this on, and
that's how much swag you have.
But you're right. It is.
Just goes through this little thing together.
It does go on. And I did take a step back, and I did look at a lot of the stuff and the way I put it together. I'll be like, wow. I guess when you think about it, it does come out a certain way. But I just prepare, like, especially with you, I try to match what you're gonna wear, so that we sort of, because I guess I always think of it like we might take a picture.
Yeah. That's true.
And so I guess in this era, I'm always like, if I go a lot of places, I'm in a lot of states. So I try to pick stuff up. I would try to pick up maybe one exclusive thing a month. Right. And then so I would have it. And then if we doing something, I'll put it on, and it'll just, look a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays you never know where a candid shot that somebody takes me now looking
You better
could last
preach. You'd be
a
like, oh my
lifetime.
God, they took this horrible, horrendous
And
picture of
then that's the
me.
one that they always gonna have, or that's the one that gets the 1,000 likes. That's the one they like, dang, I could have
Mm-hmm.
done better. So you just gotta kind of be prepared. But I feel like as you get older, you know what I'm saying, you don't grow out your stuff. So I've always kind of gotten nice stuff, and it just kind of stayed at that level. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't really got no secrets to store. I go to Macy's a lot, but I think that I just pick stuff out at Macy's. You know what I'm saying? That is different.
You
That's
two
what it has to
people.
be.
Awesome is the king of I'll come back and get
Come
it
back and get
later.
it at Macy's. Yeah,
He
yeah.
just, I better just buy it, darling. Just get it right now.
No, no,
No,
no.
Macy's, you do a good job at Macy's.
Yeah,
Macy's
it's not
does a good
easy.
job.
Yeah, it's not easy to pick. I guess, but like you're saying, I just pick out good stuff from
Nordstrom's too
Macy's.
you go in Nordstrom's and get some nice stuff too.
I definitely have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna switch to online. If I get my online bag, now then I'll be like, yo, I could definitely agree with what you're saying.
Awesome
I got
had
my
me,
online bag on the
he had me
cruise.
fooled when I first met him. This guy didn't have the same outfit on like our
Oh,
first
that was the shoes.
45
That was
date.
all the shoes.
No,
Yeah.
it was the clothes too, darling. You did
I
not
can't
have
remember
like
anything about that I wore except the sneakers.
he had Burberry everything, Gucci everything.
Yeah.
When we first went to New York to the tree, you had a whole Gucci scarf,
Yeah, that
gloves,
was ahead of the time. Yeah, I was early.
hat,
Yeah. That was ahead of the
jacket
time.
season back then. Awesome has 5,000 jackets,
hmm
7,000 black ones.
They're all different.
They're not all different.
They all different.
Well, I like your sense of style.
Well, thank you. I
He has
appreciate
some
it.
nice socks too.
Yeah.
I was buying you nice socks for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He had all the Stan socks.
Mm-hmm.
Where are those Star Wars ones?
I probably break them out because I had them in the little cases,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll probably take them out and we'll start wearing them more.
You got Wu-Tang ones?
Mm-hmm.
You're stylish. What's your
Well, thank
next
you.
one?
My next one was your love for travel.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was good. I'll keep it short because when we were talking, one of the first conversations I had, I said, do you like to travel? Do you like to go to concerts? And do you like to go to New York? And that was the top 3
Mm-hmm.
musts for our relationship. And she said yes to all 3 of them. So we went to New York pretty much almost every weekend.
He picked me up in New York. Shout out to Brittany.
And then
shout out to Fatia at her house.
ton of concerts. Went to a ton of concerts.
We went to Governor's Ball. We went to
South by. I was already going to South by though. I had made up my mind.
He's saying he was already going to South by.
I was already going to South by. I had made up my mind.
I was like, I'm going to South by for work. You want to come?
I was already going to go. I was like, look, man, I was already going.
Yeah, we had a good time.
That's
we
why
weren't dating that long.
No, but I mean, I was already
our first 3 months of dating. We went on 2 trips. We went on my birthday cruise and we went to South by.
I was already.
Was that crazy, y'all?
I was already going to go to South by, man.
That's I think after because South by was before the trip, right? Or after?
Before.
It was. And I mean, to travel with somebody so early in their relationship. What did you think about me on that first trip?
To South by?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I just thought, let you handle yourself, because it's not always easy. Like when you travel, you really find a lot about people.
You definitely do.
It's such a waiting game. People sometimes they appear to have tolerance, but then they don't, so you had good tolerance, you know how to travel, pack, and then, you know how to adjust because in travel, I mean, you might want, to be sure, you might want McDonald's, but only Burger King will be open. So you got to go to Burger King and find something because you only got 10 minutes before you got to do this and do that. And some people can't make that change in those quick decisions. And then be miserable the whole time. And you really no way to travel. Then some people break up, during the trips.
Awesome knows I'm down for the cause.
And it's tough, man. It's really tough.
That's
when people leave people.
They do. If you can travel with somebody, you can be with them.
Straight leave somebody. It's tough.
This is another one that you don't get recognized for enough. I love Awesome's athletic ability. You got voted most athletic in high school?
It wasn't high school, but it was right before. Yeah,
8th grade. Okay.
Right before.
Well, that's still a big deal. Awesome is extremely athletic. A lot of people don't know. I'm about to spill the beans. Awesome used to run track, cross country, and what else?
Indoor and outdoor.
Indoor and outdoor. And Awesome used to do gymnastics and
Mhm.
was really good at it. That's why he does all the flips and all that, guys. Like he was actually like trained, went to like practices and all of that. You had medals and stuff, right?
Yeah, I got a lot
Trophies
of
and
yep, I was state champion, you know what I'm
yep.
saying? I went to regionals, I represented the region,
Mm-hmm.
at the regional meet and had a chance would have had a chance to go to like I guess Junior Olympics or something after that.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean just yeah.
My hope would be if we have a son or a daughter for Awesome to get them into gymnastics. I do not think
Well, it's a good base because it builds a lot of strength.
it does build a lot of strength, but I feel like, especially if we have a son, I would love him to do that in his younger years
Mhm.
and it not be that stigma that that is something that is feminine.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
like I feel like there should be more strong African American males in the gymnastics world.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think that they need like we have what's the young girl's name? Oh my god, why can't I think of her name?
You talking about
Not Gabby.
Gabby?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I was
got
about to say
Gabby.
Gabby. Mhm.
We need what's the guy version of Gabby?
I mean, there have been guys in the past like Cheney Humphrey was a black guy, and but there it's something that they've removed from certain areas and only put it in certain areas. That's it. I mean, same thing like field hockey, right? That's not necessarily everywhere. Or what's the male version? I guess it is the
Rugby. Not rugby.
lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
like not available everywhere. Only some
Yeah.
places, but you're right. These are areas that they exclude from us that we would excel in.
We would totally excel in it.
Hmm.
What little boy do you not
That
know
flips on the
that
flip
does
on magic
flips and
on
all of
magic.
that? Like if they just got professionally trained, do you know like
Hmm.
being an Olympian, like that's such a big thing.
It
Like
is. It is. I mean, I feel like more people could be more of anything, but they just don't take advantage of any type of sports. Like, everybody just wants to play football and basketball. Like,
we could do so much
but
more than
there's
those two
soccer. Yeah,
sports.
soccer. There's boxing. I really am
Soccer
shocked.
athletes make more than basketball
Hmm.
players in Europe. They make more than what we make
Yeah.
basketball players here in America.
I'm also shocked that baseball, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Even though there is a lot, there could be more.
Yep.
Um Even something
Hockey,
simple as
like ice hockey.
hockey, even something simple as bowling. Like honestly, more bowling. Bowling is big, could be
Mm-hmm.
bigger because it is strength. Like them balls, the ball is heavy. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And is but I mean, gymnastics, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the tennis. Look at Serena and Venus.
Mm-hmm.
Since they got in there, dominating. Right?
Yeah.
They're the most strongest, biggest. They're way bigger than their counterparts on the tennis courts. They can
Yeah.
hit the ball harder and faster. Like a lot of genetics come into play for a lot of these sports.
What
You know.
what events in gymnastics did you do? Uneven bars?
Well, I mean, yeah, you do all this stuff. You do
Mm-hmm.
floor, you do high bar, you do the parallel bars, yeah, you do the pommel horse, you do vault, and then you do rings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you know how to break dance real good. Also can break dance real good.
I can spin. I don't know. I can't do like windmills. I can spin. I can spin. Yeah. So that was it. But yeah,
But you have a lot of athletic
well,
ability.
I played. I mean, I did the same thing. I played basketball. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
never played football for a team, but I used to play football. Just around
Mm-hmm.
the town.
But
Um,
anything you kind of excel at, like even water sports, all that kind of stuff. You're very
I mean,
athletic.
gymnastics gives you the base for everything. So I got decent balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I got a firm upper body strength from just
Mm-hmm.
having core. Like that was the first P90X. You get what I'm saying? Like gymnastics was the first P90X. We used to have to come into the gym. We have to stretch, and then we had to do like 25 push-ups, 25 sit-ups, 25 dips. That was
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some people whole workout at 35.
Yeah.
And we do it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
So.
sure. For sure. So that was mine.
Mhm. Oh, okay. So mine. All right. I said a little bit. I said passion for music.
Oh Lord.
Hmm. That was big. That was big. Just music in general. Said concerts. Like I said, the top three things I said to her was, um, you like going to concerts, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know she did, this for a living.
It's a love hate with you
Hmm.
now. My passion for music. I get so ingrained in the concert.
But it's tough work. I mean,
It is
it's
tough
a passion. I
work.
understand his
It
passion.
is.
I understand his passion. But yeah, music. I mean, you grow up with something that's there for you so much, meaning music.
Mm-hmm.
You come to appreciate the art behind it, and then even becoming a part of the culture yourself, meaning
Mhm.
making music. And that was something I decided to do at a time where I didn't have anything. I think a lot of people will have a lot of hobbies coming out of this pandemic that we're in,
I
because
hope
everybody
so.
having to spend so much time in the house. But like, I already had to spend time in the house and had to do stuff with myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So there was a ton. I made a whole list of things I wanted to do, but some things you have to do first. So I started the music first, but it was music, it was write books, it was do all this other stuff. But I started with the music, and that took me on a whole journey that led to just creativity and writing, having an appreciation for beats, outside of songs, and then having a whole nother appreciation for songs and artists, and then having appreciation for live music, and then doing live shows myself, and all that came about. And then she was pretty much into it the same way.
Mhm.
You loved live music, you loved a lot of artists,
Mhm.
and that was a huge bond and a huge connection,
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. This next one, it's very I think that everybody should have a friendship like this, but I really admire your friendship with Yvette. You
Mhm,
know, a lot of people, don't they be like, you can't have a platonic relationship with the opposite sex. I do not believe in that. You and Yvette's bond and relationship and how you guys have been there for one another. I know Yvette's one of the only people that has kind of like stuck by your side through your whole um journey with Sienna and
mhm,
everything, and your kids grew up together,
mhm,
and I just really appreciate that. I love when she comes around. I love how you guys
mhm,
interact. Just to see a genuine friendship, that somebody that you trust and you can rely on and she can rely on
mhm,
you, really means a lot to me. I really
mhm.
respect that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, you're right. It is tough, what I'm saying, just having friends, different opposite sexes. But I mean, I think as you grow older, like,
You need people in your
you
corner.
can't, yeah, it's not just going to be all the guys. I feel
Mhm.
like the guys, what I'm saying, is something that we need to open up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I totally understand where the conflicts of interest come into play at. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it can't just be the guys. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So,
Mhm.
so yeah, yeah, all right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mhm.
My go.
Yep.
Number three, we're getting close. Was the ambition.
Oh Lord.
Very, very ambitious. You're an overly ambitious person. No,
Too
I won't.
ambitious.
Honestly, I won't say overly ambitious. I'll definitely say very ambitious. But you're ambitious towards your direction. So meaning like what you're currently doing, you want to
Mhm.
put all resources into that and push out. I would say
Mhm.
me on the opposite hand, I'm more overly ambitious because I'll put my efforts into a whole bunch of different things. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that, to me, that I can see that being more of a definition as overly ambitious. I necessarily don't like to just do one thing. You know what I'm saying? I 100% can get bored with one thing. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's like a fire. Like, I have a quick burn. So I get real energized about something. I'll put a ton of energy into it, and then it'll be gone. And then something else will spark that same passion, energy, fire, and it'll be gone. And so you'll see a lot of that with me. But I understand where you come from with your ambition. And
Mhm.
there's times we'll also have match ambitions, because if you get ambitious about something, I can get ambitious about it too, and we can work and we can push it. So,
Mhm.
and that's what happened with the podcast. I sort of brought that idea to the table. It's like, yo, this, because I was interested in getting the podcast, but I'm like, I don't really know what to do. I think we were just talking about it one day. You were talking about how you were the Get Hype girls and you were on the radio and you were that. And I'm
Yes.
like, what? I'm like, what?
Gang, gang, gang.
What? I'm like, uh-oh, hold on, hold on, hold on. Beat drop. And
Mhm.
then we got behind it, we pushed it.
Yep, absolutely. No, I appreciate that. A lot of guys would like to silence some ambition in women and say, stay in your place. You always are pushing that forward and supporting and making sure that I can be the best little Miss Entertainment that I can be. So I appreciate that.
Hmm.
Um, this is my number three. I think you're extremely handsome. Awesome beats up on himself a lot, but Awesome, you are you have amazing features. You have very nice eyes. You have a very nice nose. You have amazing lips. You're in shape. Even when you feel like you're not in shape, you have
I
like
had to get in shape.
you
That's a
have
fact.
like you have like strong shoulders, and you just have a very masculine way about you. Don't do that. You do. I think you're extremely sexy, and I from the second I saw you, you know how you'd be like, oh, he's fine. Like he was fine, fine. I was like, oh, some guys gotta they gotta grow on you because they're kind of like, you didn't have to grow on me. You were, as you would say, easy on the eyes from the beginning.
I appreciate it.
You have nice eyebrows too. Your eyebrows are very fleeky.
Eyebrows are fleeky.
You do. I be hating sometimes. I'm like, how's he got that perfect arch in his eyebrows?
Didn't even know it.
Shout out to Susan.
You didn't even know. I didn't even know it. I didn't know I had.
And you look nice with your beard.
Yeah, well, it's still growing on me. I'll put it like that. Literally and figuratively. So mine is support. I think that's a big thing. Like you were saying, I really never met anybody as supportive as you. It is different because I got this whole thing now where I understand how I am, and if I'm talking to somebody and I'm not getting the right answer for them, that means I'm talking to the wrong person. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, you know what? This isn't for you. Let me take my ideas or my talk to someone else. And so I'm very much been like that. So a lot of times I don't really talk a lot about things to people because I already know that my way of thinking is probably a lot different than what they're thinking about at this moment.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yo, I'm building right now. But you have always been supportive no matter what time it is or what idea I've had. And sometimes you just gotta talk. I'm like a talker to get things out.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to you about things, I'll just get it out. And then once I discuss it a little bit, I'll kind of formulate a plan in my mind. I'll put that aside for later, and then I'll be able to execute it.
Yeah.
But you've always been very supportive and been there, a step of the way when it was, music, and then, some of the books, podcasting, and then just all the stuff that we, talk about and plan and come up with together. That we have waiting either to be done or things that we did, from live events to all that stuff. I mean,
We've done a lot.
when you really put it into perspective, I mean, we did amazing thing. I mean, we just don't get no credit for it, but we've done some groundbreaking stuff.
Our credits coming.
Yeah, we've done some groundbreaking stuff, man. I mean, and I'm starting to see, to the point where some of the things we've done come back to us. Like we see other people do it.
Yes.
And they don't even know where they got it from. They're like, yo, but
osmosis.
We see, you know what I'm saying? We see. You can't be if you're on Patreon.
Tilted down.
Oh yeah, tilted down.
There you go.
We see you guys. I'm holding up one picture that we're seeing a lot of right now. We see you guys. Goodness. This was the original one. This is how it started. Okay.
It was, man.
Yeah.
I'll put it back up.
But definitely support. So thank you for supporting me.
Absolutely. Without saying, you are a great caretaker. Listen, clear transparency. Transparency is clear. Awesome when I'm not around, takes care of the house. When he's got to cook, he does clean. He does a lot of things for himself when I'm busy at work. But more so than anything, he is a provider and a caretaker. When I was down and out, couldn't walk, couldn't get in the bathtub, couldn't fix my own food, awesome without hesitation made sure that I got everything that I needed. And I can't thank you enough for that. I definitely cannot.
Yeah, we was trapping, man. We was in the house trapped for real. So we was getting our
this quarantine was this cheese to me, piece of cake.
Yeah, because you had your knee all banged up. That was 2 years ago, right?
I know, the time flew.
Yeah.
But I was in the house for a good month and a half. Couldn't go nowhere.
It's like a lot. Sorry, as a lot of people was now.
Yeah,
in the house. Yeah, so now that was your number one.
No, I got one more.
Oh, okay. So but I'm on number one.
Okay. How'd that happen?
I know, so I'm trying to think. Like, what did I miss?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay.
No, I did everything. I guess you would be last because you went first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why did caretaker? What, you got yours now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So mine was, of course, number one is going to be beauty. You are beautiful. Little Miss Entertainment.
Thank you.
You are beautiful in every way, inside and out. That's really important. You know what I'm saying? So the beauty part was of course my number one. But you can't, I mean, you can't not put that as number one anyway. But
Some
that was,
people probably would not.
yeah, but that has to be a big deal, you know? So
Thank
beauty.
you. Thank you. And my number one for you is your ambition.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome will start some businesses, write some books, be a manager. He will do every and anything. He is so ambitious. It's kind of
Well,
crazy.
you got to be, man. You got to be.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that you don't see that goes on that he's got going on. And it's kind of crazy to think all of the things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
You take care of this podcast. When we were doing the live shows, he was full management mode. He was touring, doing music, managing his 9 to 5. He is a very ambitious person. I think you get down on yourself too much when you're not getting the credit that you are well deserved, but sometimes the world won't give you the credit the way that you want it presented to you. You will get it in other ways. And I think right now, this week, you're getting it in the way that you deserve. You really are. So sometimes you work up for things and it doesn't come as a parade down the street. It comes in something else that you've been waiting on. So, but I think you're ambitious. I think you're the best person that I've ever met in my whole entire life. And I cannot wait to spend my life with you.
Well, thank you.
So those were our 10 things that we love about each other.
Those were just 10 quick things on the spot.
A million other little things, no pun intended.
Yes.
That come along with all of that. I think every couple should do this every couple of months, level set. You know, Awesome and I, like I said, we are human. We argue, we disagree. But one thing that we always can do is bring it back to the reasons why we love each other and why we are invested in this relationship. And I hope and I pray that all of you can do the same. Awesome, you have anything else for them?
Nope, that's it.
Where can they find you at?
Twitter, awesome NOBDY, Instagram, awesome_nobody.
And you guys can follow me at Little Miss ENT, LILMISSENT. That's short for Little Miss Entertainment. Check out this whole series. It's called The Wedding Edition. We are on Anchor, Spotify, and now Patreon.
That's right. You can see the videos on Patreon, listen to the podcast on Anchor.
And all digital streaming platforms. So as always, I love you guys for listening because 100% you didn't have to. Have a great day. Peace.